Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage. So it is another nice day here in Pennsylvania for August, not too hot at all. A little humid, but not bad. So the last couple days I've been working on the trans cooler mounts and stuff for the truck. Not really much to show you. I have that about wrapped up. I got a few more aluminum welds to do, but I don't have an AC machine here, so I haven't been able to do that. But tonight we have something special. We have our box, our package that came from Canada. So this is an international part, so I'll explain why we went to Canada for it and what exactly it is. But first, let's get to unboxing this thing and checking it out. So what do we have here? We have solid engine mounts for our 6.7 Cummins. We have a 4th gen, but I believe all the 6.7s are the same. There are multiple companies who make solid or semi-solid 5.9 mounts, but as far as these 6.7 mounts, there's only 2 companies I'm aware of. Hardway Performance in Florida, who makes this really nice billet aluminum setup, but they kind of do like limited runs and they don't know when they're going to have any more. And I know that because, well, I called Nast. So these are steel mounts, and these are produced by Armor Inc. in Alberta, Canada. So they are actually cheaper than the billet aluminum hardway mounts, even with the international shipping here to Pennsylvania. They seem to be of a very high quality. They're actually very lightweight. The welds look phenomenal. Everything is powder coated black. When I originally called to order these, they had to check and see, if they had another set. They're waiting on some more to come back from powder coat. So they are powder coated rather than just painted. But yeah, they look to be high quality. I'm not sure. Let me check. Looking at the truck real quick, it appears that this is the passenger side and the longer one is the driver's side. But when we go to install these, we will figure that all out. Why am I switching over to a solid type mount? Well, as we've seen in the past, or you've seen with any engine, when you torque them up, the engine has a tendency to move, and that's a lot of your play in your motor mounts. They're there to get rid of vibration while you're driving. We're not worried about that. Anything I've heard about solid engine mounts on these trucks, when you're sitting at idle, it's yes, it's more apparent, but as soon as you start driving the vehicle, you can't tell. But we're not worried about that. We're worried all about the power part of it, and right now we're at 1,000 horse, but if we were to ever go above that, that thing's going to torque even more. And if you guys remember, we had a problem the one time with one of these clamps. I believe it was on the exhaust housing, with that whole thing turning. And we've also had a lot of problems every time we've been at the track with blowing this boot off. So I'm thinking that is from the engine torquing too much and just really putting a lot of stress on this and trying to rip that boot off. So I'm thinking that changing over these solid motor mounts or engine mounts, if you will, I'm hoping that will relieve that, and just make everything more secure and more stable. We will lower the truck down, get it sitting back on the ground. I actually might even just leave the wheels off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the wheels back on, the steel wheels. We'll lower it down onto the ground, and then we will loosen the passenger side mount since that's the easiest to get to. And we will try and jack on the oil pan of the engine, see if we can get that thing up, get the mount off, figure out the orientation, because I honestly don't know if it goes like that or like that, but we'll figure that out. And we'll get these suckers installed. Got the passenger side out. I did label it with a T so we could figure out the correct orientation of this one, which is down. So our factory mount, as you can see, is a bit worn. I don't know if that is from what we've been doing with the truck or the 150,000 miles that it's seen. Probably a combination of both, but this thing's definitely wore out a bit. So as you can see, this Armor Inc. one is definitely much simpler in design. It's a little bit lighter, as well as this is a big cast iron piece with this rubber in here. As far as something other than these semi-solid or solid mounts, whatever you want to call them, there is a company, polypropylene or polyethylene or something. They make inserts that go in here, and guys, you know, make little contraptions up, you know, like all thread through here to keep them together to kind of stiffen these stock ones up. I don't know how well they work, but that is a third option, or yeah, third option. So stock, the solid, and that poly whatever. So yeah, that is definitely wore out a bit, that's for sure. Also, while I have this out, I decided to modify our little aluminum shroud that I made in case the piece of the block decides to exit stage right. When we did the transmission and we're doing torque converter bolts, I had to unbolt this and slide it up so I could get on them correctly. Well, if we're going to be checking those between passes or between trips to the track and stuff like that, I don't want to be fooling with this. So I marked it when we did that. So now it's cut. It should be good to go. So we'll slide this back in, bolt this up. We'll put our new Armor Inc. mount in, which I will put the bolt and all in first, just like this one came out. And we'll bolt her all up and then go on to the hard one, the driver's side. Another thing of interest, I was looking at the bolt and I was looking at the factory one and said, man, it looks like this thing's a little bit beefier. Which it is. You can see it's beefier, but you see the factory bolt? Look at that. It's got a little bend to it. Yeah, I don't think that is by design for sure, but we're upgrading to a straight, bigger bolt. So there's the size difference, and obviously this top one's straighter. All right, let's get this passenger side mount in and figure out how we're going to attack that driver's side. Another thing too, guys, I put the jack on the oil pan, but I did put a piece of like plywood on there to try and spread the load out a little bit. I basically just jacked it up enough that I could wiggle the mount loosely with my pry bar to make sure it was loose. And then of course, once the bolts came out by hand, I knew I had the weight of it with the jack. So just be careful. We don't want to smash the oil pan, and we don't want to lose the engine, that's for sure. So just be careful when you're jacking it up and doing all that stuff. The driver's side is in. I did pull the turbo drain to do this, just made it easier. Also, it does make a lot easier to mount the center mount for our Champion Racing Engine's engine diaper. I was able to just go around that main tube for the engine mount and made things easier than trying to go up behind it. But this easy side, the passenger side, is done. Now to hop over here and try and figure out how to do this one. Yeah, this one's gonna be a pain in the ass, I think. But we'll see. The driver's side mounts out. It was a pain, not as big a pain as I had thought it would be. So if we look at it, looks like this one, once again, kind of mounted down is the orientation. So it is actually significantly heavier than the Armor Inc. mount, as well as expected. But the bolt for this one is still straight. It's not like bent like the passenger side one, which the more I look at, the funnier I think it is. Yeah, who would have expected that, really? Pain in the ass to get to. Not really that bad, except for this bolt here's a little bit of a pain. The other three, this one I could have removed the starter to make it easier, but I was able to get it without doing that. So we'll try and get this in, or no, we'll get this in. There's no try. We'll get it in and see how everything looks. But yeah, these are pretty ugly compared to these. That's for darn sure. So all right, back at it. Driver's side mount is installed. This one actually installed a little easier than the passenger side because I went about it a little different. The bolt that connects to the frame right here, on the passenger side, I installed it with that in loosely and then tried to bolt it up to the engine block. Well, that was a mistake. On this side, it was starting to fight me like over there, and I said, you know what? Let me just pull this out. And it bolted right up. I was able to jack the engine up a little more, slide that bolt right in, and just went much more smoothly. This side is a little harder to tighten up, but still not as bad as I anticipated. And the reason I first did it with the bolt kind of in is because, well, that's how I pulled the old mount out. That's the only reason. The passenger side's looking good as well. These mounts certainly look the part, that's for sure. We got rid of these heavy, bulky, ugly mounts. This driver's side one does not. It does show a little wear, but it is not near as bad as the passenger side, which when we looked at the bolt and we saw that it was bent, kind of explains why. This was definitely getting moved all around and pulled. Well, I guess it would have been pulled down or pushed down, I should say. So it's a good thing we did do this. That thing definitely does not look good. So guys, tonight we successfully installed the Armor Inc. Solid engine mounts. Definitely a quality product. Everything bolted right up like I was telling you earlier. Had a little trouble on the passenger side, and that was my fault. I pulled it out that way, so it's kind of how I went to install it. Would have been a lot easier had I just bolted it up to the engine block and then fished that bolt through. But hey, you live and learn, right? Now you guys don't have to make that mistake. But all in all, everything went well. Driver's side I thought was going to be a complete bear. Not too bad at all. I was very surprised about that. I thought about pulling the fender liner, but I don't think we really would have gained any access to those lower bolts, which are harder to get to. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully we will get to installing our cooler, filling our transmission, and getting the truck to at least move out of the garage a little bit here shortly. But yeah, we're moving right along, and hopefully this will take care of any of those intercooler boot issues we've been having every time at the track. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck.